All right, you guys, I am so sorry that I can't be here today, but Miles has a fever and I have to be home with him for mama duty. So today's notes are about area and circumference. And so today's date's 4/25/18. And make sure you know is that some of you have reviewed this before and you've done this in other classes in younger grades, and others of you this is brand new for you. So I want to make sure that for all of us we're on the same page. I've talked about the number pi before and how that we see in math all the time with circles, that if we take the circumference, which remember is the circle, and then we divide it by the diameter, which is the length that we have across the circle, that every time we do that, no matter how big or how small it is, we get a number that's about 3, or we are going to use for most of our calculations. No matter what size circle we have, if we do the circumference diameter, then you get pi. So we have 2 formulas that we're going to be working with. We went over these on Monday with our doodle notes, but here we're going to put them again in these notes. The more you write it, the better likely you are to remember it. And so we have the area, and today we said that the area, the way you find it is you take your pi and you multiply it by your radius squared. And if they give you the diameter, remember you have to find the pi and then times your radius. So your radius is half of your diameter and half, and then you square it to get radius squared. And to find circumference, we have 2 formulas. Circumference equals, if I'm given the diameter, it's pi times diameter. If I'm given the radius, then I can use 2 times pi times to calculate the circumference. Either one is totally okay. They both work, and we're going to see how they actually give you exactly the same last step. It just depends on what you're given. If you're given the diameter, use this one. If you're given the radius, then use this one. All right, so I'm going to be using my tapes. For all of the work we do, I want you to find something round that you can use as a circle to trace. So this round spool of tape works really well for me. So I'm going to use my pencil now, and I'm going to draw a circle around this. You can use the glue tops that I have in my drawers. You can use, here's my lotion I could use around the top of the lotion. Anything round is fine. And so in my circle, I'm going to show you a diameter, and I'm going to show you the radius and the circumference. So if this is my circle, looks like right about here is my center. If I have this chord, which remember has 2 points on the circumference, and it goes, this longest chord we have is the diameter. So I'm going to write diameter on longer word as the longer line. And then the radius is from the center to the circumference. So there's a radius. And the circumference is all the way around my circle. So I'm visual, you guys. I'm going to write the word circumference all the way around my circle and draw the arrow to show that it continues. And so the circumference, when I do this calculation here, I'm finding out how far is it all the way around my circle. And then I can shade in my circle, and when I find the area, those little tiny little square units that I have inside my circle. So area is what's inside, circumference is what's around. And so I'm going to marker, it's my legend, is going to help me find my area. All right. So pi is going to be used a lot. I have area is pi times r squared. Circumference is pi times diameter if I'm given the diameter, or 2 times pi times r to find my radius, or find my circumference if I'm given the radius. R equals the diameter. So in the end, it's the same calculations. All right, so I'm going to talk a little bit about why these are my formulas. And so if I take this that I have that we talked about in the beginning, pi is the ratio of the circumference. My formula for circumference comes right from there. So if I have pi, and I'm going to make a proportion, and this is my circumference divided by my diameter. And if I want to find my circumference, I'm going to circle what I'm trying to find. So I want to find this. Just like we did with all of our trig stuff, I can use my cross products, multiply my diagonals, and so I end up with the circumference equals pi, and that is exactly right there. So that one's pretty easy to understand. The area is a little different on this page, so I'm going to flip my book to the next page. And so again, I'm going to draw a circle. Little part. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be pretty close, pretty accurate. Again, here's my center, and this time I'm my diameter going this way, and then I'm going to draw another diameter going this way that's at a perpendicular. So I'm going to have this right here is 90 degrees. So here, this is my radius here, this part here is my radius, and that part there is my radius. So now I have this circle, and I want to talk about area with my circle right now. And I use my radius as my guide, I'm going to put a square around my circle. But this is by writing or drawing 4 tangent lines, creating a square. If you see right here, I have a square. And this square has length of radius and height of radius. It's a little bit off, it looks like. Let's fix that. I want it to be right up against it. So it's a tangent, so it has to cross at one point on my circle right there. So this is a square, and that's a radius by radius area of r times r, which is r squared. And I can do that for the other sides also. So I'm using, they cross my circle where the radius hits the circumference. Oops, not all the way. All right. So there's all of these. There's 4. Area equals r squared. Area equals r squared, and area equals r squared. I'm going to color just one of those so that it kind of get better. You guys know I like my visuals. So here's a square. And this square is radius by radius. So over here, I'm just going to draw it again. A little bit smaller, but it's still a square. And if I have radius times radius, then the area of that is r times r, which is r squared. So if I look at my circle, I have 4 of these radius squares, but each one has this part over here that's not in my circle. So if I did radius squares and times 4, then it's too big. And if I do times 3, it's going to be close to it, but not exact. The only way to get it is going to be with pi. And I have a video I'm going to attach into our PowerPoint for you to watch that visually shows another proof of why the area formula is what it is. But I have these radius squares, that's the r squared, and I have pi of them, a little bit more than 3 of them for my circle. Okay? So to find the area of a circle, we're going to do pi, because I have about pi of those radius squares. So that's visually what I'm doing. Watching this video, I'm going to make another video for some examples. But right now I want you to watch a video that I'm going to attach through YouTube. That's a visual proof of why the formula is pi r squared for areas of a circle. So good luck, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes on video number 2 today.